Those Zags and Baylor, along with Villanova, the three favorites to win the national championship, according to our friends at Caesars Sportsbook by William Hill. So we've taken these odds, along with the odds to not only win the national championship, but to make the Final Four. We've been able to assign some dollar values to that for a daily fantasy-style draft. We're going to give everybody a budget of $5,000. Can't go over, and they're going to pick four teams to try to go to the Final Four. You saw that the most pricey teams, Gonzaga and Baylor. Apparently, the Wall Street Bets guys got involved and drove up the price on Duke, which is $500, and Kentucky, which is $250. But even trying to beat the guys who shorted couldn't do anything for Michigan State. You can pick up the Spartans for $1.75. So $5,000, and once a team's off the board, that doesn't matter. Spend your $5,000 any way you want. More than one guy can take a single team. Fonz, you start. Who goes first?
Yeah, for $29.50, I'm going to take Baylor. You're talking about the most efficient defense, the third most efficient offense in the country. And Rece, I know you love offense. 44% from three. And you're talking about the best defensive backcourt in the nation. Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, those guys can really get up in you. And Jared Butler is a terrific closer as well.
That's good, Fonz. For $1,600, I'm taking Michigan. Top 10 in offensive and defensive efficiency. You got to have guards to win in the NCAA tournament and advance. They play two-point guards, which is so important. And then you got to have wing guys. You got to have floor gamers. Franz Wagner and Isaiah Livers, you're talking about floor gamers. They have size, shot-making ability, and playmaking ability. And then up front, Hunter Dickinson. He's different. He's an immovable object. Maturity, toughness, defend, floor gamers. I got Michigan.
Well, first of all, $5,000 is not enough. That's my monthly bar bill at the club. Since we're only going with $5,000, I'm going to spend $2,000 on Villanova. I can't afford Baylor or Gonzaga and still have four quality chances at a Final Four. But Villanova for $2,000 is a pretty good value because they've got Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, who's a matchup nightmare. They've got an outstanding point guard in Colin Gillespie that can control the tempo of the game. And then Jermaine Samuels has really become an outstanding college player, and I think he adds value to that team. So that's a great first pick by me. I'm way ahead now.
Way to give yourself props there, Jay Bilas. I'm proud of you, my man, but I'm going to have to go with Iowa for $13.50. You talk about value. You talk about one of the most explosive offensive teams in the nation with the leading candidate for Player of the Year in Luka Garza. Can play with his back to the basket. Shoots 46% from three at 6'11", and he's got shooters all around him. C.J. Frederick, 50% from the three-point line. This is a team that mixes their defenses. Three-quarter court trap, man, half court, man-to-man into zone as well. So easily keeps deep offenses off balance. I love this value at Iowa.
Well, Bilas, while you're at the club, I'm working on kind of analyzing teams, and I've got Iowa for $1,300. And I'll tell you one thing, Fonz. First and foremost, they got Garzilla, one of the toughest matchups in all of college basketball. You throw it to Garzilla, you double him, he spits it out. You throw it to Garzilla, you don't double him, he scores it. And then they got shot makers all around him. Joe Wieskamp, one of the best rebounding guards in America, can also beat you off the bounce. C.J. Frederick, he's got to get healthy. We need his shot making, but big shot Jordan Bohannon. I've got Iowa for $1,300.
Come on, Seth. I see you at the club. You're usually buffing my shoes with a fine chamois. I'm going with Virginia as my second pick, and I think they're worth the money because Virginia can really play offense this year. Not that they couldn't in the past, but they can really stretch the floor, especially from their front court. You know, Trey Murphy, the transfer from Rice, can really shoot it. Sam Hauser, I think, is their best player. And Jay Huff has really matured into an outstanding big guy. They can still guard, but because they can shoot it and stretch you so much, I like Virginia for my second pick.
All right, so you guys have picked two teams so far. You've got two more to go. Here's what you got left. Fonz, you've got to spend wisely. You've only got $750. Seth, you've got $2,100.
I know.
And Bilas, you've got $2,025 left. So Fonz, spend that $750. Give me your last two teams.
Now I have to go for some value, guys. I have Ohio State How about fifth most efficient offense in the nation? E.J. Liddell at 6'7" is really a matchup nightmare. Can knock down 3, play with his back to the basket. And I got to go with Minnesota for 200. Talking Marcus Carr, one of the best guards in college basketball in terms of his ability to be able to score it, be able to pass it. Liam Robbins is terrific on the interior at 7'1", can knock down a 3-ball as well. I really like this team, especially as Gabe Kalsher begins to knock down shots because he's been able to knock them down at a 40% clip last year.
And I've got Virginia at 975. And I'll tell you why I got Virginia, because they're not your father's Virginia team. This team's an elite offensive team. They invert their offense. Their bigs come away from the basket. And Kihei Clark, I think he's been in school about 7 years. His ability to get the ball in the lane and make plays and make good decisions because he's playing with more space. This is also a team that has improved defensively in terms of the ability to guard the ball. And then Florida State. I look at Florida State, $900. Are you kidding me? That is an absolute bargain. I feel like I'm the wolf of bracketology or something. But this Florida State team, they score it, they defend, and they've got matchup nightmares. And Raekwon Gray, he is the Draymond Green of college basketball.
I agree. I've got Florida State for $900 as one of my last Final Four teams. And Florida State, since they've come off pause, has been just magnificent. And I think M.J. Walker's having an ACC Player of the Year type season. Can really shoot it. He was a McDonald's All-American, now a senior. And then I've got Houston. I talked about him earlier in the show. Houston is terrific defensively. They can really rebound the ball, and they've got a toughness about them. I think Kelvin Sampson is showing why I think he's a Hall of Fame coach. And then I've got a bunch of money left over, so I'd like a bunch of Pro V1s, Titleist Pro V1 sent to my house as soon as possible.
Let's take a look at the teams. And I put together a team, too. And while Bilas has been talking about all this big spending and you guys tried to justify buying the really nice Timex, nobody's going to notice. I bought the Rolex. I got Gonzaga. I've got the champion, and you guys don't. And because I'm also a man of style, I also went ahead and spent $925 on Alabama. But don't think that I just throw my money around frivolously. I also got the best value pick on the board. Colorado is a top 20 KenPom team. McKinley Wright's terrific at guard. I got him for $125, and then I was able to finish up with an undefeated team in Drake. Clearly, for all of your money questions and investment concerns, you know who to come to, and I got the champ, and you guys don't.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.